Come over closer, please.
Okay.
And don't anybody stand behind me or I'll block you. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Come on.
And I'm going to introduce you.
Okay.
Don't anybody stand behind me or I'll block you. Just 22 years has taught me a couple things.
Well, somebody stand over here and look like I have a friend.
Okay.
I'll be your friend, all right? No, it's just black coffee.
No, he's the chairman. Yeah, right.
How are you? Good to see you.
Looking forward to being over next week.
Good. Good morning, everyone. It is still morning, yes, almost. It's another great day to be in the East End. And I first want to welcome a few people this morning. We have State Representative George Brown with us over here. Thank you for coming. You're always in on these good things. We have several council members with us. Councilmember Chuck Ellinger. Councilmember James Brown is here with us. Councilmember Hannah Legree back here. Councilmember Fred Brown. And have I missed any council members? All right, welcome everyone. So I also, want to welcome our Commissioner of Housing Advocacy and Community Development, Charlie Lanter. Where'd you go, Charlie? He's right here. So joining me today are Congressman Andy Barr, Councilmember James Brown, Austin Sims, the Executive Director of the Lexington Fayette Urban County Housing Authority, and Sharon Price, Executive Director of the Community Action Council, and you'll hear from them in a minute. Today we're announcing more big steps forward for the East End neighborhood. A new road and new educational opportunities will move this neighborhood even further forward. We've made many improvements in the East End in recent years, including a new spray park that's under construction right now near the Town Branch Commons Trail and the Charles Young Center. We have had many partners in these improvements, including the people here today and Fayette County Public Schools. Dr. Zerl Palmer was an early pioneer here, opening the only African-American owned drugstore in Lexington in the 1960s, right here in the East End. We have saved his pharmacy building and are now continuing in the tradition he established, bringing new opportunities. First, we'll hear from Congressman Barr.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. It's a great day in the East End of Lexington, and it's an honor to be with you all to celebrate this announcement. Today, I'm here to announce a major $3 million federal grant that will be used to construct a brand new early childhood education facility right here in the William Wells Brown neighborhood in Lexington. This facility will ensure that 3-year-old children in the William Wells Brown neighborhood receive a quality foundation to set up their pre-K through 12 education. This will be called the Prep Academy, and it could not come at a more critical time for our kids. Last Monday, the National Center for Education Statistics released the nation's report card, and that showed that our country has serious work to do to make up learning lost in the pandemic. This learning loss does not just include students currently enrolled in K through 12 education throughout schools in America. It also pertains to students born during the pandemic or shortly before who are too young to attend K through 12 schools but still experience challenges in their early education. We know also that some neighborhoods are disproportionately affected from the achievement gap. This neighborhood deserves better, And we know that the young children of this neighborhood deserve that head start, just like any other child throughout our community. By investing in this facility and the great faculty who will staff it, we are giving students in the William Wells Brown neighborhood an opportunity to hit the ground running in the classroom. And so over 50 young kids, when this building is completed, they're going to come over here thanks to the good folks at Community Action in cooperation with the Lexington Housing Authority and the school system. They're going to come over here at 2, 3 years old, give parents an opportunity to go to work knowing that their children are in a safe environment, and then they're going to be prepared, ready to go across the street to this great elementary school to get the pre-K and the kindergarten and hit the ground running. I'm thrilled that this project is coming to fruition. Our office was able to successfully secure these federal grant funds during the last congressional appropriations process. We have a process now in the Congress in the last 2 years where we were able to go to the leadership of the Appropriations Committee, and in this particular subcommittee, the Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development Subcommittee, and request these funds. And I appreciate my colleagues who serve on that committee, especially Florida Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart, who I appealed to directly on this project. I explained what it was. I explained this neighborhood and the needs of this community. And so I want to thank Mario for his work in helping me secure these funds. And specifically to say that these funds will be used to acquire the land for the Prep Academy, construct the new building, and create multiple classrooms to facilitate instruction. I want to thank Mayor Gorton, Community Action Council, and the Lexington Housing Authority led by Austin Sims and their board for their work on this. And I want to give a special note of appreciation to Councilman James Brown, who's standing here behind me. Sharon Price, of course, and your team, Community Action. We couldn't do this without you. But I want to just give a quick and special recognition to James, because I would not have been aware of this vision without James's vision. And James came to me and he wanted me to come to the neighborhood and see it. And I appreciated his passion, his unyielding persistence in the project. And I really credit him for giving us and our office the motivation to go secure these funds. So James, thank you. And I'm grateful that we're all here to partner together to bring this project across the finish line. Yeah, it's Halloween, and on Halloween we think of children and the fun and the future of children. And this is an exciting day, but I think the even more exciting day is the day when we all get to come back here and see those faces of those kids having a safe place to be while their parents are working, a safe place to learn and prepare for their future. And I know because of this project and all of the people who are responsible for it, we're going to make sure these kids have a brighter, more prosperous future. Thank you very much.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Congressman Barr. Your announcement today, coupled with the many improvements William Wells Brown Elementary has brought to education here, will mean lifelong opportunities for the East End children. Dr. Palmer would be proud to have his name attached to this Head Start Center, and I hope you all notice the sign back there. Now, let's hear from Sharon Price. Community Action will be operating the Head Start Center. Sharon, welcome.
Thank you. We don't ever know whether we need a hug. We always want to shake hands and hug at the same time, so we never know what we're quite doing there. You guys, I'm so proud to be here today, and I thank all of you guys for coming and sharing in this moment with us. It's already been said that this is about teamwork. This project is putting working people together towards something that has a transformational effect for our community. And so it's taken a lot of people to be involved to make all of that done. All of the people standing here and even people that aren't here. This early childhood facility that will stand right here will be the Prep Academy at Palmer Complex. And it's only possible because of the hard work, the support, and the actions of the people that you see here today. Now, I would be remiss if I did not mention someone that was on this team and working with me before we ever got started. My former education think partner, Fayette County Public School Superintendent, Manny Kalk. Manny was a champion of early childhood education and the multi-generational approach to improving families and communities. So I feel like I have been blessed because I have a very supportive board, and I would like to acknowledge my board members that are here today that support our work. If you guys could give a wave, that would be great. We could not do any of our work without the support of our amazing board. And my team, thank you to all of my team members that are here, because those are the folks that really get in and do the hard work. Thank you all. As it's already been said, children need high quality learning experiences that prepare them to be successful in school and life. And parents need high quality, affordable early childhood education and support so that they can go to work and they can make progress in their life. So how did we get here today? Councilmember James Brown connected me with Austin Sims to connect me to the property that's here. And at the same time, he brought in Congressman Barr. Yeah. I am so sorry. I just feel like I know everybody. Congressman Barr, and to leverage the funding for this facility. But even before all of that started, I was appointed by the mayor to be the vice chair of her Commission for Racial Justice and Equality on the Education and Economic Subcommittee. Increasing early childhood education was the #1 recommendation under education. So thank you for bringing that committee together. So yes, this was a team effort, and we're excited about the opportunities to serve families in this historic neighborhood. This is such an exciting time in the history of our anti-poverty work. The impact of community action has been multiplied by new bills and an unprecedented amount of government funding available to help our in a child development center, regardless of the family size or income. Our new facility will need teachers and aid. So free child care is going to be a great recruitment benefit. So if you have a young child and you would like to work, community action is going to be the right place to help make a difference in our community. So I love when things come full circle. And so there's one more thing that makes this project connect. When Austin shared with me that he was going to be naming the street after Dr. Palmer, and he asked me to follow suit with the facility, my team immediately started going and researching to see what we could find out about Dr. Palmer. To our surprise, Dr. Palmer in the early years were on the steering committee for Community Action Council's development. And so this is coming full circle because he also started back in the 60s at Community Action Council. So talk about full circle. But like Dr. Palmer, community action seeks to serve the critical needs of families by providing them with passionate care and opportunities. And that's what they're going to get right here in the East End neighborhood. So this is exactly and certainly an exciting time for us. We look forward to helping families and children in this area receive the supports that they need to be prosperous in the future. Thank you all for coming, and don't let this be the last time that you visit this area. We're going to be looking for a lot of volunteers because I believe that everybody working together helps children and families to be successful in the future. So don't be a stranger once this building is built. We'll be looking for volunteers. Again, thank you all.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Now, a man who needs no introduction, Austin Sims, is in it for the long haul when it comes to creating opportunities for affordable housing in Lexington. He has been in this business since 1977 as Executive Director of the Lexington Fayette Urban County Housing Authority. With this project, Austin is finishing up a Hope 6 grant he won for this neighborhood back in 2005. The second highly competitive Hope 6 grant that Austin and the Housing Authority have secured here in Lexington. So this is a big deal. As has often been the case over the years, the city is a partner in this work. The city is paying for a road that will serve the new housing here through federal American Rescue funds. The road will also be named, as you've heard, after Dr. Palmer. Austin, please come forward and tell us a little bit more about your plans. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor Gorton, and thank you for being here. Let me recognize my board chair, Joan Whitman. Kind of wave your hand there, Joan. And I'm not for sure, I don't see any of the other board members, but they're William Wilson, Janet Gibbons, Kimberly Scott, and Sally Hamilton, CAO for the city, all serve on our board. Also want to recognize, if you will, our attorney right back of me, Brandon Gross, and design professionals. If you would sort of wave your hand, Tony Barrett, Steve Garland, Robert Lyons. And I also want to recognize the contractor. We have a minority contractor, so woman-owned contractor. Linda Johnson, Ms. Johnson, is president of that. Her son, Jeremy Johnson, and his wife, Amanda Johnson, work with us and have been very supportive of this building. So thank you all for attending. Let me just briefly share with you two of my favorite topics. Affordable housing is one, and my grandchildren are two, and just how are they related. Rest assured, I'll not ask you to look at the 6,793 pictures that I have on my phone of the grandkids. I would, however, like to share a conversation I had last month with two of the grandsons, DJ and Trey. Both had birthdays in September, and their Grammy asked, "What do you guys want for your birthday?" Both simultaneously said, "We want Transformers." The 6-year-old indicated they'd find them at Target. I realized too much television for him, but off we went. I was totally unfamiliar with the toy Transformer. But off we went shopping, and to my surprise, the shelves were filled with Transformers. We purchased a couple for both of them, and we both agreed Transformers are expensive. Being in a box, I wasn't really sure what we were purchasing. However, when the kids opened them after the wows and the thank yous, the smiles and the hugs, I was anxious to see what these Transformers were all about. One was a robot that turned into a car with the push of a button. The 4-year-old took a car and said, "Watch, Papa," as he put it behind his back and transformed it into a garage. He looked at me and said, "Magical." I thought to myself, that's what we've been doing for the past many years, transforming neighborhoods, and yes, expensive, yet magical. This is what today is all about, the building out of a transformed neighborhood that we started in 2005. You've already heard from Sharon Price that they are building a child care center on this very corner, helping to transform this blighted and vacant site, as well as transforming opportunities for young children to break barriers that otherwise may have hindered them. So thanks to Community Action, and my pages are sticking together, and Sharon Price for their partnership in this transformation. Today, we break ground on a new road that will open this property from the 5th Street to 6th Street. This lane will provide access to both the child care center as well as the 10 affordable houses that are now on the drawing board for this neighborhood. With this lane, it will afford an opportunity for Shropshire to have a clean streetscape with housing facing both the school and the recently transformed inner circle rather, with all the beautiful trees, thanks to the Lexington Tree Commission. The lane, as has been discussed, is named after Dr. Zerl Palmer, who is in the 1950s, late 50s, early 60s, began to transform this neighborhood by opening the first African-American drugstore, not in this city, but in this country, as well as a soda fountain. And the soda fountain is significant in the fact that it was the first soda fountain that I, as an African-American kid growing up in Lexington, was allowed to sit at and have a hot dog and a Coke. My wife says I could have skipped the soda fountain. This thing could not have been built without funding from Mayor Gordon and the Urban County Council. Thank you, Mayor Gordon, and all of you council people for your support in the transformation of this neighborhood. As we close, let's keep our eye on the prize. A new road being built, a beautiful child care center being developed, and affordable single-family homes and 5 apartments are in the planning process. As I said in Target last month, transformers are expensive. And as Trey said, they are magical. To fully appreciate and recognize the changes in this neighborhood, I wondered if you have counted the number of times I have used the word transforming. If you haven't, it was 15 times. As we hear from Councilman Brown, we have asked Jeremy Johnson, the operations manager for the contractor, if he would move the earth for both the Dr. Zerl Palmer Lane as well as the Child Care Center. After Councilman Brown speaks, we will then have some photo ops for the bulldozer. Thank you very much for attending and for your support in affordable housing.
Thank you, Austin. Thank you very much, Austin. We all now know he's a proud grandpapa of several things, right? Not just your grandkids, this. So, before I go to Councilmember Brown, I want to recognize my Commissioner of General Services who is here, Chris Ford. Chris has, in General Services, he has buildings, properties, fleet, parks, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of the hardscape, so thank you for being here. I want to wrap up today with Councilmember Brown, who has worked behind the scenes with everyone to make this project happen. Councilmember Brown, welcome to the podium.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you all for being here today. And let me recognize my fellow council members that are here again today. Councilmember Chuck Ellinger, Councilmember Hannah LeGree, who was the third? And Councilmember Fred Brown. Without their support on this project, was pivotal. And let me also, I know Commissioner Chris Ford was recognized, and also Representative George Brown, who are my predecessors in representing this district. I know just as well as you all know how important this project is to this neighborhood and to this community. I've been in the East End quite a bit in the last few years, cutting ribbons, breaking ground, and those projects are important and improve the quality of life in this community, but I'm most proud of this project. This project has the potential to transform lives. The opportunity to create workforce development opportunities, to enhance educational opportunities for students, and then to help stabilize this neighborhood and the folks that live in this neighborhood by creating more single-family affordable housing is tremendous. And then you also add in the fact that the street is being named after Dr. Palmer and what he did and all his contributions to this city and this community. When we see this neighborhood transform and turn over, and we're all concerned about displacement and having the opportunity to protect the history, to share the history, and to bring it along with us as we move forward is important. I just want to thank Sharon and Community Action for your hard work and perseverance through this project. We've been working on this for years. This doesn't happen overnight. Mr. Sims and his team at the Housing Authority for their willingness to come to the table and make this project happen. The mayor and the council for getting behind and supporting the requests when they were made. But then Congressman Barr for his listen for his listening to the proposal, him stepping up to the plate, going to get federal funding, and he doesn't know it, but his name has been attached to this project from the beginning. Every time I brought it up to people, I brought up Congressman Barr is supportive of this project, and that opened a lot of doors. So thank you, Congressman, for your help in all your contributions to this project. And then let me thank the folks in the community. There are a lot of neighbors here. There are a lot of folks that work in nonprofit agencies, work at the school, live in this neighborhood out here today. Thank you for your continued work and your continued advocacy for your families, for your neighborhood, and for this city. And this project is an example of how us in government are stepping up to try to help you and the school system transform lives and make this community better for us all. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilman Brown. Now we're going to have a rather unusual groundbreaking. There are no shovels today. So we have is this a backhoe? I mean, there's a lot of earth movers, right? So we have a backhoe here. So after the groundbreaking, I'm sure any of these folks will be happy to take your questions. Thank you all for coming. Let's go move some dirt.
I'm real simple. I'm low maintenance. You just call me Andy. Well, talk about it like this. Oh, well, that's fine. Over here. You can do that anytime. I'm honored that you
One of the buildings, and she got on there and took that fork and bit right into the. I had a ball. Yeah, we're gonna get out of it.
Yeah. It's like